Hey guys, let's talk about what it means to be magnetic and how you can be magnetic and the traits of the people that are magnetic and how to recognize them and how to kind of know what's going on there. So, first of all, being magnetic is not about looks. A lot of people think that they're gonna become magnetic if they get lip filler or if they get a new haircut or a new hair dye or sorry, new hair color, or if they basically somehow elevate their looks, if they lose weight, if they gain weight, if they gain muscle, if they whatever. That's not how it works. Because you know what? You can be the most gorgeous person in the room. Imagine if you put a lot of effort into your appearance, you have the finest clothes, you have the best skincare, the best makeup, you always look put together, you always look great. But on the inside, you're feeling lousy, you're feeling not good enough, you're not feeling pretty even. You kind of did the most you could, but you still don't feel pretty, you still don't feel good. And you can walk into a room and be the most gorgeous person there, and then you're going to notice that people are not going to be drawn to you at all. And I'm not talking necessarily in sexual sense at all. This has nothing to do with that. So it has nothing to do with love, being sexually attracted, appearances. This is not what I'm talking about, and you're going to kind of see what I'm talking about as we go into the audio more and more. So, like I said, you can be the most gorgeous person and still not be magnetic. And a lot of people, unfortunately, think that if they, elevate their looks in the ways that it will be more socially acceptable, because we all have beauty standards, right? That somehow they're going to be more worthy because of that and more attractive, and people will be drawn to them and people will respect them and people will treat them better. But that is not the case at all. And they're up for some disappointment there. So, being magnetic, let's talk about it. Let's analyze it. I'm going to give you an example, and then we're going to analyze that example and we're going to learn how a person can be magnetic. What does a magnetic person have? What traits do they have? How do they think? Everything about them. And it's not what you probably think and imagine. So, when I was a kid, I had this neighbor, and it was a boy. He was a few years younger than me. And this little boy, and now a man, was very much magnetic and still is. And he was like that just from the early age. He was probably born that way, and then he just kept that. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Anyways, I remember that I always went out of my way for him, out of my way to please him. I didn't have a crush, by the way. It was nothing to do with that. It was just that I just wanted to be around him and I just wanted to be in his presence. And I just felt good when he would talk to me and then we would hang out. It just made me feel really good about myself. Because this is how magnetic people, this is the effect they have. And I have also noticed that other kids and his brothers and sisters and just people around him and his teachers and like in general, majority of the people had the same thing happen to them as well. So magnetic people are people whose magnetism you do feel and you go out of your way to please them and you kind of want to be around them and all of that. And of course, this will not affect everyone in the same way because some people will be triggered by that magnetic energy and then they will go out of the way to kind of bring them down, try to bring them down, because that is why do people bring other people down? Because they think that this will help them get up, but it doesn't, obviously. So, where was I? Anyways, yeah, he had that kind of effect on people. And later on, when I started studying these things, researching these things, studying psychology and everything, I kind of started thinking about him. And I was analyzing some of his traits. So he always had a really good mindset and still does. His mindset is really healthy and really good. He never judged anybody ever. He was always kind and nice to everyone, and there was never any judgment towards anybody. He couldn't and still can't stand gossiping. So anytime somebody would gossip around him, he would just leave or he would simply not engage in the gossiping. Um, he was never anxious. His mental health was always really good. He even asked me a few years ago, what does anxiety feel like? Because he didn't know what it feels like. Can you imagine that? It's pretty remarkable. And, anyways, I was just thinking about it and kind of gathering information. So I kind of figured out what being magnetic is about. It's about your mindset, right? And it's about being confident, but also being down to earth and being kind to everyone. It's about not judging anybody because high vibrational people, they don't judge others. They have love and understanding for everybody. So it kind of aligned and I kind of understood what it actually is and what it actually means. Um, and I hope you guys kind of get it as well. And think about if you know a person like that, a person where, you don't have any like romantic interest for or, are not attracted to, but you just love to be in their presence. You love to be around their energy, basically. You kind of want to please this person and you just kind of admire this person, even if you're maybe not aware of it. But if you think about it, you're going to figure out that probably you know somebody like that. And then try to think about the traits of that person. Do they ever judge anybody? Are they ever mean to anybody? Do they gossip? Things like that. And that's what being magnetic is about. Because you know how you can have a very pretty girl and then she starts gossiping and saying really ugly things about other girls. And all of a sudden, she's not that pretty anymore, and you're not that attracted to her anymore. And basically, the reason why she does it is because she's insecure. And when you're insecure, you're not magnetic automatically. When you are safe and secure and you have a good self esteem, you will not be judging others and you will not be, talking nasty things about others. That's just how it works. Um, it will be the opposite. You're going to be really kind and nice to others and have a lot of nice things to say about people and always look at the positive aspects of everyone and everybody. Sorry, everyone and everything. I was going to say that. So, some people are just naturally magnetic. They just happen to keep a good mindset all through their life. There are people like that don't struggle with it, and majority of the people does struggle with it. But the point is, we can all get to that level. We can all do it. Some of us will have to work on it because we do have anxieties, we do have insecurities, we do have fears. It's not naturally like that for us because, things that happened in our life, they affected us differently and we reacted differently. So it's just about that, but we can also control it now and we can change it. Remember, everything can always change and we are changing our whole lives. We are changing physically, we are changing in every other aspect as well. We start as little babies and we have to learn to talk, we have to learn to walk, and then, we progress, so we change. So if you're stuck thinking that nothing can change and you're stuck in this bad mindset where you think, oh, everything's always gonna go horrible. This is something that you have to change first, so you can change things to come, and they will not be horrible. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope everybody learned something. I hope I have delivered this message in a way that people can understand me, because this is something I struggle with sometimes. And in my head it usually sounds better than when I actually word it. But I hope you get the point. And I hope you're having a lovely weekend. Bye.